Hello, Steve White, Steve White 89. Well, I just watched episode 6 of Superman and Lois, the cancer season. That's what I'm calling it. I appreciate that the actors are getting a chance to take on a serious topic, and they're doing a good job of it. But it does feel very traditional drama, and I prefer my escapist superhero TV series to be escapist superhero TV series. So I'm not finding it a lot of fun because it's a real problem that we deal with in our real lives, and it's probably the biggest problem that we deal with in our real lives. So I'm having trouble with it. I know they're trying to balance it. You can see they're trying to balance the two sides of the story, but the cancer side is very much overpowering the other side, as far as I'm concerned. Now this episode has a couple of things happening. Let's get rid of the smallest story first. Lana's situation with her ex-husband. He is dating Chrissy, and he's trying to find time for her. She wants to be taken seriously. She wants him to tell Lana about her. He doesn't want to because he doesn't want to hurt anyone. A bit late there, Mr. Cheater. So he's got the kids, and he's going out to meet Chrissy, and I forgot his daughter's name. Well, she's basically too busy just being self-involved, and the youngest daughter, Sophie, is feeling neglected. There's literally no food in the fridge. She's like hungry, so she goes out to get something and doesn't come back. And it takes them an hour to realise that she's not there. It's not until Lana drops in and she's like, where's Sophie? And they're like, I don't know, she went somewhere an hour ago. So they go running around looking for her. Lana bumps into her ex. I've forgotten his name. I'm really bad with names. I need to have a cast list in front of me whenever I do a review, because I can never remember names. And she finds him in a bottle shop with Chrissy, and she's like, oh, okay, boom, she's gone. So that's all out in the open. They find her at, I think it was a circus or somewhere where there's something they used to go to as a family. I think she mentioned wanting to go to it, and there was an issue because, everyone was too busy. And she's like, I think Jonathan, I get those two mixed up as well. Jonathan, he talks to her because he's like, look, I understand what it's like. I'm, everyone in my family is a big deal and I'm nothing. So I understand what it's like. And she's like, nobody cares about me. And he's like, yeah, no. So, Lana's daughter shows up, the other one, and the father shows up, and of course, they all make up, they're all happily ever after. Lana takes time to play computer games and get out of the 80s with the daughters. So that side of things, all that's the story. And of course, the ex shows up to tell Chrissy that he actually obviously wants to be with her and ask her, will you be my girlfriend? So that's their whole story done for this episode. Jonathan has been training at the firehouse, and they're sort of giving him a hard time in that, but finding and helping out the daughter. He finally gets a t-shirt with his own name on it, Little Kent. So that's his story for the episode. Now Lois and Clark, of course. Lois is continuing her treatment. She's continuing to investigate Mannheim, and Clark has gone to group for, I guess, the Partners of Cancer patients, and he can't handle it because he cannot handle the fact that he cannot protect Lois. He feels helpless for the first time in his life, and that's how a lot of people feel with people who have cancer in their lives. So it's something new to him, but it's not something that we don't all deal with. So she wants to do a will, and he's like, yeah, no, can't deal with it. Eventually, there's a moment where he's being attacked by a bunch of Mannheim's people with kryptonite lasers, and the female villain with the weird face, I have no idea who she is. Someone told me in the notes, and I've totally forgotten already in my comments. I've totally forgot. Because I said I don't know who the villain is, because I assume it's someone from established Superman lore, but I don't know that very well. they pretend to be Lois, so he shows up. And then when Lois shows up at home, Jordan's like, he went to save you. And she's like, listen for him. And she actually tells him, go save your father. You're ready. Because he's been training and pushing Clark to let him, help him out. And he's sort of, scared. So he's like, not letting him. He does help. He does knock out a bunch of these guys with guns. But then another one is just standing there with a gun on him. And he just sits there for a minute. I'm like, why are you doing nothing? Then he shoots him. Clark zaps him. Knocks the other villain through a wall. I thought they would have killed them because, But, and I'm like, did they even look? Did she just run off? Like, what happened there? So basically, he finds that Jordan is unconscious, but the kryptonite doesn't affect him the way it affects Clark. So he may actually have some powers that actually help. Because, of course, if he's not as susceptible to kryptonite, then he can, do things his father can't. So they go home and they sort of explain the thing to Lois, because Lois already read him the riot act about the whole thing because he was training him too hard and they were fighting and that. But Clark had a moment where it's like, that was the worst moment in my life when he was unconscious. I thought he was dead. And he is dealing with his issues better, and he does go back to group the next day because he walked out and wasn't going to go back. So he does go back and starts to talk about his issues and that, and it's very good. I wish I had something like that when my mum was sick, because there was nothing. I didn't really even talk to my family. I haven't even talked to anyone about it. So it's all still very. It's been 5 years and it's still I'm still dealing with it. So because I haven't dealt with it, so I'm having trouble with this season because every episode brings up those issues for me. So that's my issue. But yeah, the show was good. They balance things a bit more, and right at the end we get a little twist. Lois's friend at the cancer clinic that she's been talking to and getting all this guidance from, because she's been through cancer a few times, just happens to be the villain with the mask. I thought it was their face. I thought they were a full-on mutant, but it's actually some sort of mask. But it does change, so I have no idea who she is or what she is. But Mannheim is trying to save her, so he's got a special investment in her, and I guess he's treating her is what gave her powers. So, the big bad for the enemy is Lois's best friend who's in cancer treatment with her. So that's going to be a fun little betrayal and confrontation later on. And it does make her a bit more interesting. So I'm glad they did that, because I was really finding absolutely nothing interesting about that storyline and that villain. So that's this episode. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm enjoying the show, but I do put off watching it. Like, it's been almost a week. I've procrastinated a whole week, and just because I don't want to deal with the cancer side of it, because it brings up all my stuff that I haven't dealt with yet. So, which is bad because it's been 5 years. But yeah, bye.